Hello grade 8, I hope you are fine. Today in this session we are going to discuss and illustrate New Hello Unit 14. Please, I want all of you to open your student book page 24. Schools around the world. Lesson 1. Ask and answers what do you think is the same or different about schools in Egypt, Japan, and Brazil. In this session, we are going to discuss 3 schools in the different 3 countries. Listen to me carefully. All the children in Egypt have to go to school from the age of 6 to 15. They can go to nursery school from the age of 4, but they don't have to go. At primary and preparatory school, all students have to wear a uniform. Japanese students don't have a uniform at primary school, but they have to wear a uniform at secondary school. They have to clean the school building at lunchtime. Most students practice sports or music after school. Many students also have private lessons. Although they don't have to go to these lessons, many students go because they want to do well in their exams. In Brazil, students don't have to go to school for more than 5 hours a day. Schools have different opening times. Lessons can be in the morning, afternoon, or evening. Brazilian children start school when they are 6. Now we are back to the first questions. What do you think is the same or different about schools in Egypt, Japan, and Brazil? I think the same is Brazilian and Egyptian students start school when they are 6. But the difference here that Japanese students clean their classrooms and school buildings. Most of them practice sports or music after school and have private lessons. They don't usually wear a uniform at primary school. Brazilian students only go to school for 5 hours a day. They go at different times of the day when the schools are open. Now we answered question number 1. We are now to question number 2 that I want all of you to read that again. Yeah? After reading, we are going to answer question number 3. Complete the sentence with words from the article. Nursery, primary, preparatory, and uniform. Number 1. All the children go to primary and preparatory school. Number 2. Many children in Egypt go to nursery school before they are 6 years old. Number 3, the last one. Our school uniform is a white shirt with black trousers or a skirt. Now we are going to answer question number 4. Are these sentences true or false? Number 1 is answered. All children in Egypt start school at the age of 4. False, of course. They start at 6. Number 2. In Japan, students have to clean their classrooms before school. False. They do this at lunchtime. Number 3. Some students in Japan have lessons outside school. Yeah, that's true. Number 4. There are 3 different school times for children in Brazil. That's true. Now we are going to answer and read lesson 2. Exercise number 1. Underline the examples of have to in these sentences. Circle don't have to. Number 1 here. All the children in Egypt have to go to school from the age of 6 to 15. Number 2. At primary and preparatory school, all students have to wear a uniform. Of course, in number 2, we should make a line under have to. That's right. Number 3, although they don't have to go to these lessons, many students go because they want to do well in their exams. We want to have to go. Number 4, in Brazil, students don't have to go to school for more than 5 hours. We should make a line under don't have to. Now, in grammar box, we are going to discuss obligation and lack of obligation. Before we read this grammar box, I want to explain what the meaning of the word obligation. Obligation, that means something is very important, something is necessary to do. And the lack of obligation is the opposite. That means it is not important, it's not necessary. Let's read the first black point. We use have and has to talk about rules and things that are necessary. We have to go to school 5 days a week. He has to go to school on time. The second black point, we use the negative form don't have to and doesn't have to talk about things that are not necessary. We don't have to go to school on Saturdays, of course, because it's a holiday, so it is not important to go. It is not necessary to go. He isn't late. He doesn't have to hurry. That means it is not important to hurry up because he isn't late. The third black point. The form of yes or no questions is do, does, plus subject, plus have to, plus infinitive. Do you have to get up at 6 o'clock? Question mark. Yes, I do. And no, I don't. Does she have to eat breakfast? Yes, she does. Or no, she doesn't. You can also make questions using a question word. Question words like when, what, how. AWS question word. When do we have to finish our homework? Why does she have to go now? We are going to answer question number 2 and lesson 2. Complete the sentence with the correct form of have to and has to or don't have to or doesn't have to. Number 1 is already answered, like you have to use a pen to write the exam, don't use a pencil. Number 2, all the students come to school on time. Who can answer? Yep. Number 2, all the students have to come to school on time. Number 3, people space drive on the right on the right in Egypt. People have to drive on the right in Egypt. 4, Hassan space learn this vocabulary because he already knows it. Hassan doesn't have to learn this vocabulary because he already knows it. 5, my aunt space work at night sometimes because she is a nurse. My aunt has to work at night sometimes because she is a nurse. Now we are going to lesson 3. Look and answer. Can you match these words? The words and pictures? Look at the pictures carefully first. A, B, C, or D, E. In this table, the number one is answered. Do the washing up, letter C. What about dry the dishes? Yep, it's letter D. What about make your bed? Of course, B. Set the table? Of course, E. Sweep the floor? Of course, letter A. Which of these types, which of these jobs do you have to do at home? I leave the answer to you. Now we are going to listen to a survey. Listen to me carefully. Narrator number 1. Good morning. I am doing a survey about jobs in the house. Do you mind if I ask you some questions about jobs in the house? Not at all. What jobs do you have to do in the house? For example, could you tell me whether you have to sweep the floors? No, I don't. Do you have to make your bed? Oh, yes. I have to do that every day. What about helping with meals? Could you tell me whether you have to set the table? No, I don't. But I have to do the washing up and dry the dishes too. Thank you for answering my questions. Narrator 2. Boy 1. Excuse me, could I ask you some questions? Boy 2. Yes, of course. Boy 1. Could you tell me whether you have to sweep the floors at home or make your bed? Boy 2. I don't have to sweep the floors, but I have to make you my bed. Boy 1. Could you tell me whether you have to set the table? Boy 2. Yes, my sister and I both have to do that. Boy 1. Who has to do the washing up? Boy 2. My sister has to do that. I have to dry the dishes. Narrator 3. Go on. Hello, Farida. Is it okay if I ask you some questions? It's for my survey. Farida. That's fine. What is your survey about? Go on. It's about jobs in the house. Which jobs do you have to do at home? Do you have to sweep the floors? Farida. Yes, I do. I have to do that every day. Go on. Do you have to make your bed? Farida. Yes, I do. Go on. What other jobs do you have to do in the house? Farida. I have to set the table, do the washing up, and dry the dishes too. You are very helpful, Farida. Now we are going to answer and complete the table. Of course, speaker number 1, wrong, right, wrong, right, right. You can complete by yourselves, please. I want all of you now to hold a pen or a pencil and tick after me. Again, speaker number 1, wrong, right, right. Speaker number 2, yeah, wrong, right, wrong, right. Speaker number 3, right, right. Now we are going to discuss functions box. Questions formally and informally. Formally, when you talk to your sir, to your manager, your teacher, your father, it is formal. But informal when you talk to your friend or your sisters, your brothers, your family. Asking and answering questions formally. Do you mind if I ask you some questions about? Not at all. Excuse me, could I ask you some questions about? Yes, of course. Could you tell me whether you have to sweep the floors? Then, asking and answering questions informally. Hello, is it okay if I ask you some questions about? That's fine. Do you have to sweep the floors? Now we are going to discuss lesson number 4. Match the rules and replace match the rules and the places or activities. Number 1 here is answers. You have to read quietly. Of course, E, a library. 2, you have to wear the correct shoes. Of course, letter D, tennis, football, or basketball. 3, you have to look left and right before you cross. A, the street. 4, you have to buy a ticket. B, a bus or train. 5, you don't have to buy anything. C, a shop. Work in pairs. I will leave it to you to do by yourselves. We are going to discuss this matter with each other. Number 1, only one person has to sweep the floors. 2, 3 people, all the people have to make their beds. 3, 2 people have to set the table. 4, 2 people have to do the washing up. And 5, 3 people or all the people have to dry the dishes. As you see, this exercise depends on the table on page 26, the previous one. Look at this. I asked 5 students in my class questions about this subject. How do you go to school? Here are the results. 3 students have to walk to school. They have to leave home early because they don't live very near the school. 1 student's father drives him to school. 1 student comes to school by bus. Now we are going to discuss the last page in unit 14. Now you can use words to talk about school and learning. Match to make sentences. My brother is 16. He is at B, secondary school. Number 2. His sister is 7. She is at, yeah, you're right, D, primary school. 3. Children aged 4 to 6 go to, of course, letter C, nursery school. Number 1, the last one. Most students in Egypt have to wear a uniform. Look here, use have to and has to do and doesn't have to for obligation. Please read this before anything. Jobs: Huda, do the washing up, make your bed. Ashraf, dry the dishes, make your bed. Me, set the table. Number 1. We all have to do the jobs in our family. My sister has to do the washing up, but she doesn't have to dry the dishes. My brother Ashraf has to dry the dishes, and Huda have to make their beds, but they don't have to set the table. 7. I have to set the table. That's my job. What jobs do you have to do in your house? Now we're going to answer another exercise. Ask formal and informal questions. 1 is answered already. Do you mind if I ask you some questions? Of course, it's if formal. 2. Tell me you could. Of course, I can arrange it as I say. Could you tell me whether you have to wear a uniform? Whether here a word means if. Of course, it's formal. Number 3. Could you ask? Could I ask you? Could I ask you? That's right. Some questions? F. Number 4. You okay is if. Is it okay if I ask you something? So number 1, 2, 3, they are formal, but the last one is informal. The last thing here, word building skills. The negative forms of adjectives, unnecessary, not necessary, are often different. Many adjectives use the prefixes un, or in. Learn these words. Unnecessary, not necessary. Impossible, not possible. Informal, not formal. Now we are going to workbook. Unit 14, we are going to Unit 14 now. Exercise number 1. Match the words and their meaning. Number 1 is answered. Exam B, a formal test. What about number 2? Who can answer with me? Yes, necessary. 2C, that's right. What you need to do or have. 3. Nursery school. F. A place where very young children are looked after during the day. 4. Primary school. Primary school. That's right. For A, a school for students aged 6 to about 11. 5. Private lesson. E, a lesson that you go to outside school. Number 6. Uniform. D, the school that some people have to wear at school or for work. Now we are going to answer exercise number 2. Choose the correct words. 1. Egyptian children don't have to go to nursery school. Number 2. At primary school, all children. Who can choose from have to or don't have to? Yes. All at primary school, all children have to wear a uniform. 3. Children space wear their uniforms after school. Number 3. Don't have to. Children don't have to wear their uniforms after school. Number 4. All the children space do exams at school. Of course, all children have to do exams at school. Number 5. Children don't have to take private lessons after school. Now we are going to answer this exercise. Hello. Do you mind if I ask you some questions about your home? Not at all. Number 2. Hi, Tamer. I ask you some questions for our homework tonight. I think is it okay if, because here we are talking about a friend, so I say, is it okay if it's informal? 3. Miss Iman, you want to work here? Could I ask you some questions about where you work now? Of course, letter C, because I'm asking formally. Hi Magda, can I ask you which jobs you have at home? Letter B, nice to meet you. This is the answer. Complete the sentence with an, am, or in. So it's so simple and easy. Let's do it together. 1. Your sunglasses are unnecessary. It's cloudy today. 2. It is impossible to stay underwater for more than a few minutes. 3. How to think that people who live in big cities are sometimes unfriendly. Number 4. Is it formal or informal to say hi? 5. Snow in most parts of Egypt is very unusual. 6. Don't eat too many sweets. They are unhealthy. Now we are going to answer the last exercise today. Complete these results for a survey about where students usually study at university. We wanted to find out where university students study. For our survey, we asked questions to 100 students. 55% of students study in a library. 20% of students like to study in their living room. 10% study in their bedroom. This is the same as the number of students who study in the classroom. 5. Only 5 of students like to study outside. The results show that a library is the most popular place to study. Thank you for good listening. See you with happy smile next time, inshallah. Goodbye.